Hey guys, here we are with Redcon1, 4 weeks out of the 31st Arnold Classic. It's crazy to think that show's been going for 31 years. So everything's great, 4 weeks out. I couldn't actually be happier with the way things are going. I mean, I'm the best I've ever looked. Spirits are high, I'm still nice and strong, full. I'm probably the leanest I've ever been, which is crazy because, you know, at 4 weeks out, you know, you should know whether you're going to make it or not and how on track you're going to be, but I'm further ahead than I've ever been. In fact, how I look right now is probably better than I've ever looked on stage. So I'm really excited about the next 4 weeks. The only setback is I have a little bit of a cold, as you can hear in my voice. That's a combination of being ill and shouting a lot during the session. We did a lot of leg curls. The reason being is I do have very big glutes, so it's not something I want to put too much emphasis on. So we start with a seated leg curl. That particular variation is one of my favorites because where you lock your legs in and you're just like locked into the machine. There's not much room for swinging the weight. It's very accurate in its in how it feels. So we started there. We went up to a max effort set, and then we did a second set with the same load. My training partner Ben gave me 3 extra force reps. By that point, I was pretty much done. I think one of the main things I've started to realize about bodybuilding is how incredibly simple it is. And it doesn't mean it's easy. And I kind of like to use the analogy, running a marathon is simple. Swimming the English Channel is simple. Doing the Tour de France is simple. Doesn't mean it's easy. You know, because swimming the Channel, you just got to keep swimming, keep swimming. Doing the Tour de France, you just have to keep riding that bike as hard as you can. It's all simple. It's not complex, but it's extremely difficult.
Get on up. Good. Come on. Yo. I'm one. Come on. Get it. Tight.
And then we moved on to a line curl. The line curl, this particular one is a Cybex, and the angle of it's totally different than the seated leg curl. So in the seated leg curl, my emphasis there was basically trying to contract as hard as I could in the shortened position. The lying leg curl, just because of the way it's kind of set up, it's a huge amount of like load and stress and more of the length and stretch position. So we emphasized there, went up to 2 working sets. One of the main things about bodybuilding is its mindset. If you can stay positive and you can stick to your guns, and you can just keep putting one foot in front of the other and making every step accurate, every step count, every day count, every meal count, every session count, and you keep doing that day after day, you keep your head above water, and you just keep the wheels in motion. It's really not that hard, you know? Which is a hard one to explain to people because as demanding as it is on your mind and your body, it's still very simple, especially when you have a coach that knows what they're doing. And I'm very fortunate to be working with Chris Acito, and he's made this prep extremely easy for me. And when I mean easy, I just mean easy to follow. I just do what I'm told. I've taken my brain out of the equation and I'm doing what I'm told. And Chris and I are in sync. He knows what to do before it even happens. He knows when my body's going to change before it even happens. We've got that preemptive relationship. And every day I just keep waking up harder and drier, fuller. And this is a testament to why I'm looking so much better than I have in the past. I mean, put it this way. I've had 4 high carb days in the last 10 days, and I've not done cardio once. And I'm getting harder and drier and leaner by the day because we're in tune. And I'm making sure I have, you know, everything in my control. I make sure I do it to the best of my ability. And I go back to the whole analogy of, you know, the Tour de France. It is, at its basics, it's just riding a bike. Really fucking far, but still just riding a bike. And it's and I don't mean that to discredit it. I'm just trying to get across to people how being very simple with your approach, but executing it perfectly with passion, you know, and focus, you can go a long way. You don't need to start overcomplicating. You don't need to like reinvent the wheel. You just need to keep pushing, keep going, and you know, and it's really important to find a coach that you gel well with, you know. And then we moved on to a single leg curl. And it might look like a lot of leg curls, but they all feel very different. They all kind of serve a different purpose. The single leg curl was just a way for us to just smash a load of blood in, really. Nothing heavy, just 4 sets, 10 to 12, jamming as much blood, contracting as hard as possible, making sure they're nice and toast at the end. So that was all so we did 3 leg curl variations, all with a slightly different emphasis. And then we moved on to adductors. And that is something that too many bodybuilders neglect. If you look at the best legs of all time, they all have phenomenal adductors. Look at Tom Platz. As incredible as his quads were, one of the reasons why his leg development was so just phenomenal was his adductors. I mean, they made up a good third of his lower leg. Or sorry, of his upper leg, of his thigh. I mean, all that meat in his inner thigh, you can see it from the side, you can see it from the back, you can see it from the front. You know, it's just a whole dimension of your leg that a lot of people neglect. So it's something I've been focusing on a lot this last year. So every time I train quads and hamstrings, I pound my adductors. So we did 3 or 4 working sets there, just taking them to failure, moving up in weight. And then we moved on to abductors, which is just the hip mobility work mostly. It's kind of more for that glute ham tie-in at the top. You know, the start, the harder and drier you get, you want to, I wouldn't say it's to bring the detail out, but it's certainly, it's a muscle group you have on display when you're really dry and separated on stage. So it's just an area that I want to make sure I haven't left untouched. Whether it's necessary or not, I'm not sure, but it's something I don't want to leave to chance. So we do those as well. And then, so that was all our isolation movements. Then we moved on to the fun stuff, which was the really heavy set of stiff leg deadlifts. I would actually say they're more of a Romanian deadlift because it was a slightly shorter range. But at this point, my hands were just dead. I mean, we battered them. And every single second I was holding that bar with 6 plates on, my hamstrings were just taking the full load. And because they were already pre-exhausted, my glutes didn't really take much, which is why we did them last, because I wanted to kind of pre-exhaust. So my hams and adductors were just fucked. And then we just simply went up to a max effort set, simple as. Nothing complicated, just wanted to make sure the form was nice and strict, nice and solid. And we were just loading my hams as much as possible. And you know, 4 weeks out, in the past, there's not a chance I would have been able to handle 6 plates, no way. Which is just kind of a testament to show how well this contest prep's going, because I'm still able to handle the weight. And I think it was a PB. I mean, normally I can get like 5 or 6, and I got 8. And the form was pretty much immaculate from my perspective. Every rep was exactly where I wanted it. Smooth, controlled, minimal lower back intervention. It was just spot on, really. So I'm very happy with the way today's session went. Yeah, there's nothing really more to add. It was nice, simple, basic. Pretty much exactly what I've been doing in the off season. My hamstrings have been a focus, hence why I'm giving them their own day. And I think 4 weeks time, you're going to see a significant improvement in my hamstring development. So I'm really excited. I mean, I think that 6 plate stiff leg deadlift might even be a personal best for me. And that's 4 weeks out from a show. So we've got 4 weeks with the Arnold Classic, and then 2 weeks after that, I have the Arnold Classic Australia, where I managed to get 6th place last year. And I'm hell-bent on beating that placing this year. I want to get top 6 at the Arnold, and I want to get top 6 in Australia. And I don't want to leave anything to chance. If I don't make the top 6, it's because I wasn't good enough, not because I didn't work hard enough. It's because I wasn't good enough, and I completely accept that. And what I won't accept is I won't accept me standing on that stage thinking, oh, I could have done more. That's not going to happen. I'm going to get up on that stage, and I'm going to know in my bones I did every single thing I could do to get to that point, and then it's up to the judges. It's out of my hands. But I do believe what I'm going to bring to the stage will be worthy of a top 6 placing. And again, we'll see in 4 weeks. So this is part 1 of our series leading to Arnold Classic. And thank you very much for watching. And you know, I do appreciate all the feedback and the messages I keep getting of support. It means a lot. And a huge thank you to Redcon1. You know, they've given me the opportunity to be my best, do my best, and make sure I have everything I need to be the best I can be. And that's absolutely priceless. So not only am I doing this for myself, I'm also doing it for the team, for the brand, because they support me and I want to give back to them as well. So thank you very much for watching. This is just the beginning.